All right, I'll say, how are you all this evening of your time as you create time to exist? Are you all alive? Yes. Oh, thank you very much. We begin this interaction this evening of your time with a discussion of what you label dreams. The idea being that in your society, you do have the notion that what you label dreams are but mere fantasy, but mere conjurings up of your mind, mere discharging of built-up energy while you are awake and discharging it while you are sleeping in random mental patterns. Very creative. However, from our perspective, you are dreaming right now. Simply that this dream, this waking dream, has different parameters, different definitions than your sleeping dream. However, they are truly both dreams. This waking dream has, shall we say, the component of solidity, of continuity, of linear timeline. That makes it seem to you to be quite real. However, your sleeping dream reality is just as real, simply has a different definition, different parameters. Do understand, when you are awake and dreaming this dream, you have the idea of linear time, cause and effect, beginning, middle, ending. And when you have a belief, you have an idea. In order to manifest that idea, you render it down to action. Do something, move in order to make it happen. In your sleeping dream reality, however, you are a thought form and a world of thought energy, similar to your passage, your death, as you say, that state in between. Therefore, very often, although you will create a seeming timeline continuity sometimes in your sleeping dream, the thought can also immediately become the thing. And therefore, you experience, while you are dreaming, sleeping, dreaming, the idea that scenes change rather abruptly. This seems quite natural to you at the timing. But when you wake up into this dream, you then think it quite strange, for you do not in this reality have thoughts immediately manifesting to become things. That is one of the possibilities, however, in that reality. From our perspective, that reality is actually more representative of your totality as a whole being. For you are truly multidimensional, infinite, and eternal. And therefore, shall we say, aspects of your creatorhood are more apparent in that dream. To us, that is far more realistic than this idea of extreme limitation, this idea of extreme focus, extreme separation. Now, we are not saying that one is better than the other, and in fact, all realities are equal. You can judge one reality to be less than another, but that does not make them empirically any less equal. So first of all, understand that reality is just as real as this reality. Simply, it contains different parameters. Your imagination is also a form of reality. Your imagination reality is also just as real. Again, it has different definitions. You do many things in what you label your sleeping dream. We will only touch upon but a few. First of all, understand that when you are, in that sense, sleeping, your consciousness is always functioning. You do perceive that there were areas or periods of timing through which you were unconscious, but that is simply representative of portions of your consciousness which have no framework, no frame of reference when you awake. You do, shall we say, settle back into more of your overall totality in your dream reality. And if you have a non-physical experience, it is quite real and valid when it is happening. But again, when you wake up, you have no framework to bring it back as a memory. When you do again wake up and remember your dream, you are simply recreating that dream in the present. And it is only, shall we say, a shadow of the actual experience. Therefore, he will not always bring back memories. Very often, again, because there is no framework in which to do so. Do understand that one other idea that you do in that reality is what you may call blueprinting. And what this does is allow you to blueprint the reality you will wake up and create. However, in order to wake up and create it most effectively, you impose a forgetfulness upon yourself of ever having blueprinted it to begin with. For knowing those details would not allow you to proceed within the situation and would actually impair you in doing so. However, once in a while, as you say, while you are going through your daily activities, you will have some sense that you have blueprinted it. You label this déjà vu. Now, there are other reasons for this phenomenon. We are discussing merely one of them. But the idea is that when you are experiencing your déjà vu, at that moment, that feeling that you have occurs because you are simultaneously at that moment aware of both realities, simultaneously experiencing the blueprint and also, shall we say, the corresponding reality. So when you feel that feeling of déjà vu, you are truly in that moment experiencing part of your multi-dimensionality. Very fascinating. Pay particular attention to when you feel this and understand at that moment the mysticalness of that feeling is the simultaneous recognition of more than one reality. And in your totality, as your higher self, this is how you exist, with that knowingness of the simultaneity of all your existences. This existence, your waking dream, however, is a very specific discovery, a very specific focus in which you allow yourself to effectively forget 99.9% of your entire totality. Because when you do that, you can then discover and experience surprise in your life. This is one of the reasons for forgetting all your past lives. If you already know it all, there is nothing to discover, nothing to learn. And if you wish in that way to partake of discovery, learning, surprises, if you will, then you must forget that you already know it all. That, in a sense, is one of the major reasons for the choice of this type of waking dream. Now recognize, all reality is one reality. You may create within the wholeness of the one reality subdivisions, separations. But by definition, because all reality is one reality, your sleeping dream and your waking dream are truly one reality. You create the separation. You allow yourself, in that sense, to use your sleeping dream as an acceptable format, shall we say, to experience more of your totality. Your waking dream has been, shall we say, used to experience the separation and limitation, allowing for discovery. As you begin in the waking dream to do what excites you with integrity, thereby expressing yourself as a being through what is truly representative of who it is you chose to be, you begin to live the dream right now. And when you will do this 100%, you will no longer need make the separation between waking dream and sleeping dream. It will be one experience, one reality, one dream. The malleability of your sleeping dream will begin to manifest within the waking dream. There is a very thin veil between the two realities. It is truly quite thin, quite membranous, if you will. Therefore, again, as you begin to live the dream, you no longer need to create a separate experience to partake of more of your totality. Within your sleeping dream, in your society, you have the phenomena you label waking up within the dream, whereby, for whatever reason, you become, shall we say, conscious with the consciousness of your waking dream within the dream, and realize within the dream, I am dreaming. When you do this, when you have what you call a lucid dream, this squarely puts you back, if you will choose to explore it in that way, in the driver's seat. For once you recognize within the dream that you are dreaming, you can then by extension understand you must be creating it. You are, quote, lying in your bed, and therefore anything you are perceiving must be your creation. This simple recognition then allows you to allow that creation to be any way you will. So when you find yourself waking up in the dream, colloquially speaking, begin to then view the possibilities available to you. Begin to then use the malleability of that reality, and you can change the scene to anything you wish it to be instantly. An analogy in your waking dream, this dream that we are interacting in right now, is as follows. You are going through your day. You do create, shall we say, a situation in which you normally would create upset. For instance, get very angry, go into judgment, invalidate another individual. If in that moment you will not go into your automatic mode of doing so, close your eyes, relax. In that very moment that you even make that decision, you are awake in this dream. And it is analogous to your lucid dreaming. For at that moment, you are lucid and giving yourself choices rather than being in automatic mode. Again, we suggest the use of your imagination in these instances. When you do create upset, when you do perceive yourself even having the potential of going into the automatic negative mode, relax. Close your eyes. Take a few breaths. Conjure up in your imagination the preferred you, the you always wished to be. See how that you handles that situation. Hand it over. And then mimic the actions of that preferred you. You will then get the reality of the preferred you, because those actions will differ from the actions you would have taken automatically. Therefore, the outcome, the result, can only differ. And this is truly waking up in this dream. Again, in the sleeping dream reality, you fall asleep into that dream. In this waking dream reality, you wake up into this dream. They are still one and the same reality. And it will always be your choice to live this dream in such a way to no longer need the two. The more validity you will grant to all realities, the more access you will allow yourselves to them. One last note. Our reality, our solid, shall we say, reality, is far more like your sleeping dream reality than your waking dream reality. Therefore, for us, That is, shall we say, an easier meeting ground between our society and yours. That is more solid to us. This is more etheric, so to speak, even though it is denser. It appears that way, for it is out of the narrow bandwidth of our perception. You also have a narrow bandwidth of your own perception. Each focused reality does. Again, though, the idea is, pay particular attention to those who are interested only to your sleeping dream reality for the next 3 nights of your time. It is no accident that you are here this evening of your time in whatever format you are. And therefore, it is no accident that you are hearing the idea of dream realities. Again, pay particular attention without any particular expectation. And we assure you, you will find something quite interesting to occur. If you will open yourself up and grant yourself permission to bring it back as a memory, we will then share in future interactions this idea. At this timing, we wish to thank you and express our unconditional love and appreciation for your willingness to share our dream in whatever way it is that you do. Again, it is all reality. We are within, shall we say, the same one reality. No matter how many separations, how many distinctions you will choose to make. We look at and view your willingness to interact with us in the same dream as the ultimate gift that one consciousness can bestow upon another. And we thank you for your willingness to share the gift that you are with us. For that willingness, I ask you now, how may I be of service to you? Sharing